So you're about done with pregnancy, but you need a little bit of help to get to that finish line. If you are rounding out your 38, 39, 40, 41, 42nd week of pregnancy, and you are ready to get that baby out, then you have come to a video that might be of assistance. If this is the first time you are coming to my channel, my name is Carly. I am a labor and postpartum doula, and I create content here on my channel all about pregnancy and labor and motherhood and pretty much everything that falls in between. And it is my passion to support, empower, and educate pregnant people so that they can have the birthing experience that they deserve. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a deep dive on how to naturally induce labor at home. Now, this video is actually one of many from a series that I have created on my channel, all about how to naturally induce labor. If you haven't seen any of those other videos, I will link the playlist right here so that you can go and check out all of the other helpful tips and tricks and secrets that I have compiled into this little playlist for you. And today's video is going to be so jam-packed and filled with so many juicy, good secrets that might be able to help you get into labor that I'm actually going to split it into 2 videos. So today is going to be part 1, and I am going to be putting part 2 out next week. I upload every single Sunday, so that is when you can expect the next video. This one is particularly exciting for me because I am doing my first giveaway. So be sure to watch to the end of this video to see all the giveaway details and how to enter. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. I have said this before and I will say it 100 times again. Your baby's not gonna come until your baby is ready to come. And I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but it's just the truth. And it's actually a really, really good reason as to why it works that way. So before I give you guys all of my secret tips, I think it's really important for us to understand how labor starts and why things happen the way that they do. And a huge factor in labor getting started are our hormones. Something that we can do in order to encourage labor to start is to do as much as we can to support that natural hormonal domino effect that takes place whenever labor starts to pick up. So what does that really look like? I'm gonna walk you guys through some of the main hormonal components that we have to have in order for labor to start and pick up and progress and eventually push our baby out. There are a couple of different places that the hormones come from whenever labor is starting to pick up. It comes from our pituitary gland, it comes from our placenta, and it mostly comes from our baby. So when someone says baby's not gonna come out until baby's ready, that's very, very true because baby is the one that is secreting a lot of the hormones that we need in order for labor to not only start, but to actually continue to progress. Something that is really cool about pregnancy and labor is that as we get to the end of term, there are these little receptors that come out of our uterus and out of the baby so that all these hormones can actually attach and take hold and do what they're supposed to do. So if your baby isn't ready yet and those receptors aren't there, it's actually really hard for these hormones to have the impact that we need them to have for labor to continue and progress and get stronger. But there are some things that we can control to hopefully encourage these things to happen faster. So baby is releasing hormones out of their actual body. Our body is producing hormones out of our placenta and uterus and from our pituitary gland. And there's this big hormonal cocktail that's going on that is ultimately going to lead us into labor. So let's talk about some of the hormones that we need in order for labor to progress. First and foremost is oxytocin. Everyone's favorite to talk about is oxytocin. This is the love hormone. This is the hormone that creates bonding and attachment. It's released whenever we're having sex, and it's one of these hormones that's just a feel-good hormone, but it's also the hormone that causes contractions. So this is something that is key for labor to start because we need those contractions to start in the uterus, right? So as the uterus is contracting from oxytocin, these contractions actually cause the membranes in the fetus to release another hormone called prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are those yummy hormones that we need that will ripen and soften our cervix. Now, in order for our cervix to efface and dilate, this is a key hormone. The more prostaglandins are released and the softer and riper our cervix is, the stronger our contractions get. And the stronger our contractions get, the more prostaglandins are released and the more oxytocin is released. So it creates this really delicious, yummy feedback loop of just hormones flowing in and out, and those are called contractions. Another thing that impacts our contractions is baby's head. If your baby is on your cervix and your baby is pushing their head down into your cervix. It's going to help soften, it's going to help dilation, it's going to help effacement, and therefore it's going to help make those contractions stronger. And as we just learned, the stronger contractions are, the more that feedback loop is going to play into itself, and it's going to help labor progress. Now, while all of that is hard at work, our placenta is also playing a really important part of this as well, because our placenta is secreting something called relaxin. Relaxin looses those ligaments so that our bones can come apart to support a growing baby's head, but B, when baby is on its way out, it's gonna support that space that we need in order for our pelvis to open up. And then on top of that, it also helps with dilation. So we've got all of these hormones flowing through our bodies. What is it that causes labor not to start? These are kind of the stars of the show whenever we're waiting for labor to start. However, there are a couple of others that I want to talk about too, because they are just as important. The one that I think is really important to address are catecholamines. This is our fight or flight response. This is epinephrine and norepinephrine. And these are the hormones that our body secretes whenever we are stressed or anxious or feel exposed, like we're in danger, when we're afraid. These are really, really important hormones. But whenever it comes to getting into labor, when our body feels those things, that means we are not going to go into labor. We do need these hormones whenever we're deeper into labor, when we're starting to approach active labor and we're about to push baby out. This is actually something our body needs in order to make that jump. But before labor starts, this is something that we have to eliminate. And another hormone I just want to touch on, because we're on the subject, is beta endorphins. So this is what you can consider as like your runner's high hormone. It's our body's natural way of relieving pain. When our bodies go through this natural hormone process, we release this delicious hormone in the middle of labor. As we're in the depths of it, you can start to feel that intensity of those contractions, and these natural endorphins are released when our bodies are allowed to have this natural experience of having all these hormones come to play together. If you've ever heard somebody tell a story about their natural birth experience, when they talk about being in like labor land or like a drugged out state of mind, that's because our body is being washed over with these beta endorphins and all the oxytocin, and we kind of just go to a different place. So this is something that we need to worry about a little bit further on into labor, but it's something I wanted to bring up. Now that we have a better understanding of why we're doing what we're doing and what is actually happening in our body, let's jump into the tips about how to make it happen. So clearly there is a very complex thing happening inside of our bodies, and our body is naturally going to do all of these things on its own. However, that doesn't mean we can't do certain things to hopefully support those functions more. So my first tip for getting labor to start on its own naturally is rest. I know that doesn't sound like an induction tip, but trust me when I say, if your body is overtired, your body knows it's overtired and it's going to hold off on labor. Of all the things you can trick in the world, your body is not one of them. Your body knows all, and if it's overtired, it will not go into labor. You're gonna need energy for your labor, and it's okay to be sleeping extra during these last few weeks. Paired with that, my second tip is hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I say this in almost every single one of my videos because it is so essential. If you are dehydrated, your body knows it. You have to hydrate. Listen to me. I'll say it again. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I said these are secret tips, not complicated ones, but those are two of the most simple tips that you can take from this video that will get your body ready for labor. Now, another thing that you can do that is going to help get baby in the correct position in your pelvis and also start to help your cervix to dilate and efface is to replace sitting on a couch with sitting on a birthing ball or a yoga ball. Another huge component of labor starting spontaneously is baby's position in your pelvis. This is going to help make sure that your pelvis is open, and it's also going to help baby engage their head into your cervix, which, as we learned earlier, having baby's head engaged in that cervix is going to help to efface and dilate and cause contractions. If you're looking for more guidance about how to use a yoga ball and what positions to sit in and different things that you can do, I did an entire video dedicated entirely to how to use a birthing ball in order to help induce labor. It's a part of this series and I will link it here. I'm also gonna link my favorite birthing ball down below. I have tried many a birthing ball and this one is the best. It's like the thickest material. It's really affordable and you can get it on Amazon. So I'm gonna link it down below for you guys. Now, my next tip is to have as many orgasms as you can. When we have orgasms, our body naturally releases oxytocin and endorphins, and those are two of those hormones that we want flowing throughout our body. Now, this is twofold. If your partner also happens to have a penis, prostaglandins actually exist in semen. So if you happen to have sex with a person with a penis, this is another way that you can ripen your cervix, which we learned earlier is something that we need in order for effacement and dilation to happen. But you do not need a penis in order to have orgasms and therefore have oxytocin running through your body. And my fifth tip for today's video is red raspberry leaf tea, also known as the woman's herb, and it's something that is known to help strengthen the uterus and the pelvic floor. And it's super rich in vitamins and minerals like vitamin C and vitamin E and vitamin A. It's also really immunity boosting, so it's something that you can start to incorporate into your diet as you get towards the end of your term. It's particularly advantageous for people who are attempting to have a vaginal birth after a cesarean because it's known to help strengthen your uterus, which some people have concerns about, like your uterus rupturing after having a cesarean. And because this helps to strengthen and tone the muscles of the uterus, it can actually help with having a shorter and less painful labor. This is an ancient tradition in women's health and medicine and something that people have been doing for many, many years. The evidence really speaks to itself. This is something that women have been using for centuries in traditional medicine. It's certainly something that you would want to ask your healthcare provider about to ensure that it is a safe option for you. Some providers will recommend that you don't start drinking red raspberry leaf tea until after 34 weeks, but some midwives and herbalists will recommend drinking it whenever you want because it does have a lot of really fantastic benefits. I will link some more information down below, a couple of articles that I found to be really helpful, as well as my favorite red raspberry leaf tea that I use personally in my pregnancy and recommend to all of my clients. So those are my first 5 tips for how to naturally induce labor on your own. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss part 2 with the other 5 tips that I have. And now that you've made it this far, I can dive into all the details about the giveaway that I'm doing. I am super excited to give away this little bundle I have put together for someone. I am going to be giving away my all-time favorite yoga ball that I talked about earlier in this video, as well as a box of my favorite red raspberry leaf tea and this really cute little water bottle that you can have with you in order to make sure you are staying hydrated. In order to enter into this giveaway, it is super easy. All you have to do is subscribe to this channel and leave me a comment down below. It can be about anything in the world, but leave me a comment down below and then head over to my Instagram and follow me there. This giveaway is gonna run for 2 weeks from the day this video is posted, and then I will select a winner. But that does it for today's video, you guys. If you are new to my channel, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to have you as a part of this empowering community. Give this video a big thumbs up if you have enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.